Hello, everyone, and hope everyone's having a good day today. And today we have another um, active day across the southeast up to the mid-Atlantic today, and including a enhanced risk for much of South Carolina, much of central and eastern North Carolina, and into northeastern and eastern Georgia here, more of eastern Georgia, but yeah, we have that enhanced risk, and then we have that slight risk from Baltimore. Down to really just north of Tallahassee here. Um, but yeah, that this enhanced risk includes Charlotte, Raleigh, Myrtle Beach area, the Charleston area, Columbia, just outside of Savannah, um, even into Augusta, Georgia. So um, be on the lookout. I think this is going to be more of a wind-driven sort of event with bow segments, and I will be showing that here soon. But this is the main area of concern today. Um, We do have a tornado risk, sort of. I thought maybe if we got enough instability, more of an uptrend, we could have seen more of a tornado threat across Columbia, maybe down south to eastern Georgia here. But it seems like the best tornado threat, with just the better instability in place, is going to be across sort of central Virginia down to Raleigh, North Carolina. Um, they'll just have better instability compared to down here in the south, um, and where the mid and the low level winds will sort of clip the northern part. Here is that tornado risk here. Goes into again central Virginia through Raleigh, almost to Charlotte. A very large 2% risk does stay in place for really all of the mid Atlantic, some of the southeast, and even part of the Ohio Valley here, far eastern portions of the Ohio Valley, also in that marginal risk here. Here's the wind risk. You see where that enhanced risk was, that 30% um, risk is where that sort of enhanced risk is, and it's going to be a wind-driven enhanced. And we can see the 15% around that 30% in the slight risk here. Here is the hail risk, and it's going to really occur across central Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. Coastal regions not um, high of a threat there, and then out in the Ohio Valley, not a real high threat. Um, but yeah, really, Columbus, Georgia, all the way up through really Baltimore, Maryland. That hail risk is heightened there. So yeah, today's risk, again, here it is, um, wind-driven enhanced. So let's look at our sort of surface map here and just get an idea of what's going on. Um, and we can see our troublemaker for today is located over the Ohio Valley and setting us perfectly up in the warm sector here across the southeast and mid-Atlantic. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on, and we can see some slow-moving and training thunderstorms and showers across the Ohio Valley up through sort of the northeast here. So this is sort of just the overall look of what's going on today. Let's look at our sort of satellite and our radar here, and this is our current satellite, and we can see some definite cloud coverage, but we can see some breaks in the clouds, and if I can actually get this to move here, we can see some clearing start to take place across central South Carolina, central North Carolina. This is going to slowly move off to the east, and most of these clouds will start to break away some, leading to some sunshine and destabilization. How much we'll get is really going to determine how strong these storms get this evening. So the next really this is it's 10 a.m. Eastern time as I'm filming this, so really the next 4 hours is going to be very crucial in how destabilized the atmosphere gets. But yeah, this is our satellite. Definitely some breaks in the clouds though, so allowing that sun to come out at least for some time. So not good for the severe weather today. So let's look at our just our radar here. Pretty clear, pretty dry across the area, the risk area, but we can see our troublemaker um, coming through Tennessee and now in northern Georgia. Yeah, this is gonna just sort of slowly progress eastward as the day moves on and pick up strength and steam as well. So this is gonna be most likely the wind threat for later today across the Carolinas. So I do want to look at our surface observations here and sort of just get an idea how the models are taking everything. Really going to be looking just across central North Carolina down through sort of eastern Georgia and a lot of just low 70s here, 71 through 73, some higher 70s near the Savannah area, but yeah, some mainly some low to mid 70s, dew points also in the mid to upper 60s it seems like. So so look at our H triple R here. This is for the team. Alright. So H triple R here, a little cooler. It's maybe a few degrees, a degree or two cooler across central North Carolina and central South Carolina. Um, has warmer pockets near Savannah, but overall, doing pretty good. Just a touch cooler across South Carolina and North Carolina. So something to sort of pay attention to. And our dew points, our dew points here, mid 60s here. Got some low 70s out and about, but yeah, pretty good. H triple R has a good handle on the dew points as well. So let's look at the let's look at updated one. Let's look at the NAM here. And of course, the NAM is just super warm, um, with mid 80s, 77, 78 across central. And yeah, we're about 5 to 6 degrees cooler than that. So the NAM is, again, it's just overdone. So we'll stick with the H triple R for right now, as it's the only one sort of updated. I guess, yeah. I like to at least compare two of them to get like, at least a better idea. But the H triple R is um, fairly reliable. Same day. It's been decent this spring so far, so we'll take it. But um, again, H triple R has a good handle on the dew points here. Actually, let's switch to 12Z here, and let's look at some parameters here. Some um, things we're gonna look at. Um, here's our surface-based cape here, and this is 1 p.m. today, and we can see the bulk of your cape is going to be across the sort of central South Carolina up down through like Georgia, Atlanta, the coastal regions across South Carolina, North Carolina, especially southern North Carolina, not as high on the instability here. We can kind of see here across central North Carolina, um, higher pockets of Cape here around 1500. That kind of extends northward for that tornado risk, where the more instability is in place. But um, across here, there's just pockets of higher Cape. So we move on across the afternoon. around 4 p.m. here. We can see that main pocket of Cape across central Georgia, Carolina, gets moved eastward across the coast. So by 5 p.m., 4 or 5 p.m., along the coast, there's 1,500 joules per kilogram Cape. Across eastern North Carolina, there's also about 1,500 joules per kilogram Cape. So enough instability for sure for these storms to take advantage of and continue to produce possible severe weather. Here's our mixed layer Cape. 2 p.m. You can see sort of your main batch across central Georgia. And by 4 o'clock, that sort of gets streamed along um, the coastal regions of South Carolina, North Carolina, or pockets of 1,000 mixed layer Cape. Not as impressive, but again, support. It's just going to be enough to support severe weather and and the retainment of such. So instability is it's a check mark. We don't have a lot of it, and if we get some more an extra hour or two of clearing today, and that could easily raise our Cape values up by a few hundred. So which would easily be um, better for these storms to take advantage of. Um, I do want to look at our bulk shear here, our shear to the 0 to 6 kilometer region. This is by about 3 p.m. here, and you can see some pockets of 40, 45 knots across central South Carolina, North Carolina here. Um, as we move on during sort of as the convection rolls in, um, we'll have those 40 knots winds, the bulk shear winds along the coast here. Again, just supportive enough to for these thunderstorms. Really like to see the 50, sort of 60 knot, but 40, 45 knot is definitely going to suffice for these storms. We see the higher winds sort of up north across central North Carolina, western North Carolina, probably also into western Virginia. Um, so that is our sort of bulk shear there. I do want to sort of look at our reflectivity here and look at this, a few soundings so we get a better idea. So this is about 2 p.m. and I'll go back here. So this is 10 a.m. This is what the radar should look like now according to HRRR. And yeah, we can say with confidence that it's doing a fairly good job with depicting what's going on in real time, where we have this sort of band of moderate rain, some sort of a convective development in the south. Maybe not as fully sort of depicted here, but actually move to a better little view here. I should have probably done this to begin with, but this is 12 o'clock, and we can see sort of that band of rain, and we can also see across West Virginia here, maybe some heavier storm showers and storms. And this is a sounding actually from central West Virginia, and actually interestingly enough here, however, our Cape values are extremely minimal here. We do have good 3 Cape values. We also our lapse rates aren't great, but we have good 3 Cape values. We do have good storm relative helicity values here. Our shear values are also fairly good. We have decent turning. Um, However, again, our instability is not great at all. So interesting actually across central West Virginia here. Um, Maybe a quick spin up, maybe a small hail possible across central West Virginia. Um, but focusing back on the southeast here, We can see sort of this line of storms and convection by 1 o'clock sort of start to pick up steam across north central Georgia and western South Carolina, western North Carolina. This is going to be the cause of our severe weather. And by about 2 or 3 o'clock, we can really start to begin to see some stronger cells. So, sounding sort of in central South Carolina here, our Cape values are sufficient enough. We have good 3 Cape values. Our surface to 3K lapse rates are fairly steep. Our shear values aren't great, and we don't have much turning. So this is definitely more of a we have sort of these parallel winds across our height as we go high in our atmosphere here. They're very parallel, so sort of tells me that definitely more damaging wind risk here. Um, Across central South Carolina at this point, and then as we go a few hours in, um, we can see really just widespread convection across northern Virginia down through eastern Georgia, and a sounding sort of near Wilmington here. Um, so you go back in like an hour or go ahead an hour. Sorry. Oh no, it might be contaminated. So sounding near Wilmington here. Cape values are just sufficient enough, maybe a little bit below, but as that line sort of moves closer in, the cape should shoot up a little bit. But again, sort of steep lapse rate, surface to 3K lapse rate. 3K is fairly well, and our shear again is not great and fairly parallel as we go up in the atmosphere. So definitely a damaging wind threat. The 3 Cape is high enough across central South Carolina and across North Carolina to have a quick spin up, especially in these bow segments. So just something to watch out for. But this is definitely going to be a damaging wind, um, more of a damaging wind threat today, um, especially across eastern Georgia all the way up through central North Carolina, where more semi-discrete up through Virginia, maybe more of a tornado risk up there with better instability and just enough sort of sufficient mid-level winds up there. But yeah, so um, sort of the severe risk for today. Definitely more of a widespread sort of event today with especially with the damaging winds. Sort of the peak timing today, I think, is going to be between 4 and 8 p.m. across much of central North Carolina, South Carolina, along to the coast. Um, Parts of maybe eastern North Carolina will see the rain and storms last a little longer, but um, yeah, once again, here's the radar, and here is the satellite. So paying attention to the clearing, again, could lead to a better destabilization. So yeah, but just stay well aware today. Sort of a simple setup today, not really too complicated. Um, but in terms of severity of the threat, it's fairly low, but a wind gust up to 75 miles per hour is not out of the question in this enhanced risk. And isolated tornado is especially across Virginia and North Carolina. So definitely don't keep your guard down today, and just make sure you're staying weather aware and acting accordingly to whatever comes your way. So hope everyone has a great day, and if you have any questions, leave them below, and I will talk to you guys soon.